Hello everyone. I had a new idea recently for a video series where I would go over some designs that I think deserve more attention than they get, why I like them, and why I think they are either forgotten or otherwise obscure. If this video does well, then I will make more in the future. I already have ideas for videos about Hapen warships from Star Wars, ships from the Mass Effect universe other than Normandy, and Vulcan ships. If you have other ideas, please suggest them. This series will be a bit less scripted than my usual videos, but hopefully not in any way rambly, but we'll see how that pans out. The other day I watched Star Trek Insurrection for the first time in a while. While it's not the best TNG movie, the film is beautiful and has some of the best shots of the Enterprise E out of all of the movies where she appears. It also has some very nice space battle scenes between the villains in that film, the Sauna, and the Enterprise. What really blew me away in this watch-through, though, was how cool the Sauna ships are. They seem to operate at least 3 classes: a capital ship, often mentioned as a battlecruiser, a smaller ship I have seen called a cruiser, heavy cruiser, frigate, or even destroyer, and finally they operate a small atmospheric-capable shuttle of some size. There's the 4th, which is the collector ship, but that seems more like a mobile station to me, and regardless is sort of a one-off vessel, so it's not really indicative of their whole fleet. Anyway, the ships appear capable of dealing with Federation starships on a peer level, and they look awesome in my opinion. Let's look at each in a bit of detail, excluding the collector ship, because, as mentioned, more of a mobile station one-off. The Sauna battlecruiser is a really interesting flying wing design. Resembling a boomerang with attitude, the ship seems to be roughly equal in mass to the Enterprise, though wider, and impressively armed. Its interior also seems orientated towards the comfort of its command crew, the Sauna using slaves heavily in their ships, and probably society, as their actual Sauna population is quite small for reasons. Aside from this, we don't know much about the ship. The ship I am dubbing a cruiser is a smaller but bulkier design used by the Sauna. The design is unique as the larger battlecruiser, while still retaining some resemblance to the larger ship, which makes it believable that the same race operates both ships. We know less about this design, and we don't even know its proper designation or name. Really, we just know that it's a Sauna ship of some size, as is in common with all of these. I don't think there's really much backstory, even in fan fiction, about these ships, which is sad. And finally, and perhaps most obscure of all, we have the Small Shuttle that we see for just a single scene in the movie. Aside from it being some form of shuttlecraft capable of atmospheric operations which sends out drones, we know very little about this ship. It's a common theme. Despite these ships looking so fantastic, in my eye at least, I seldom see much mention of the Sauna or their ships in Trek as a whole. I think Star Trek Online mentions them a bit, and in fact, after doing research, they are in the game, as you'll see in these pictures. And you might be able to play their ships, but I've not played that game for some time, so don't know for sure. It looks like you can, though. Let me know if you play the game and play the Sauna. Anyway, I think there are 2 main reasons for the limited exposure of the Sauna after their appearance in Insurrection. One feeding into the other. There's one main cause and a secondary cause, that feeds off that first cause. First off, we have the fact that Insurrection is a fairly forgettable film overall. It has a rather predictable plot straight out of the show, just with a longer runtime and higher budget available. Though it looks good, the movie overall is just kinda meh. With no new characters really standing out and little in the way of character development. In fact, I know lots of people who forget this film entirely. Next up, we have the lack of development of the Sauna after the movies. I seem to remember some vague mention of the Sauna once or twice in Deep Space Nine, but never to a serious way. More offhand, the Sauna are doing this, as the characters are talking about something more important. We never see them during the Dominion War, certainly, The most we get is, as I say, perhaps some mention in Star Trek Online, but nothing else. Combined, these two things, the general forgettability of the movie they appeared in and the lack of any development or exploration of them after their introduction, are why I think they tend to fly under the radar. But as the images which have accompanied this video hopefully show, Lasana have a very interesting and unique approach to their ship designs with a lot of detail behind them, and I figured I would make a video talking about them. Because yes, they might be maniacal, slave-owning, homicidal, genocidal maniacs, but then again, so are the Klingons, and everybody thinks they're cool. Well, that's about all I have for this video. I basically wanted an excuse to show some cool ships, of more than they otherwise are, and hopefully remind people how cool they are. If you enjoyed this video, then feel free to suggest some more ships or factions I can explore in future videos in this series. And as always, do that liking, sharing, subscribing thing that all the YouTubers these days are telling you to do. Have a good day. That's it.